Talk to you later. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback. He'll come out throwing here on first down. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Draw here on second down. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Back to throw here. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Now a man who punted for the Browns in 2015, Andy Leon, to kick it away. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This will be fielded at the 17. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now the Browns coming out on the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, start off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right, what do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game. Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
3-4 defense, usually here you'll see the linebackers come up and make those plays, but the nose tackle also vital.
That was so vital because what you just pointed out, normally he eats up blockers that allows the linebackers to get to the ball carrier. In this case, he did his job and then some, and there was no gain at all for the runner. Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
They'll set up to throw. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And Graham's got it over the middle. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Fresh set of downs here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they try the right side here. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play calling, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
2 running plays go backwards. So what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? He'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done? Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do. And if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from the 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now.
And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no 1st down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. 12 yards on the return that time. And that will come the offense as they take over. And the Browns getting set to go. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. His throw incomplete. He'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Our first update now from Cincinnati, and the Bengals out to the early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And now running right through it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They run the counter now on first down. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
And he whips that one incomplete there.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. The Cardinals on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. If you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game now. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it in every position, and we just saw there some linebackers that can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
This guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. On play action, they'll throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
The second quarter score from Cincinnati, and the Bengals out to the early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. 35 yards that time on the punt. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And that was textbook 3-4 defense. Normally the defensive line just eats up blocks. In this case, they ate up the blocks and still made the play against the running game. Really, really nice job.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And, oh, a big collision there. He's hit and knocked backward right at the 45.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to just see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They needed 14. They got 15 here on 3rd down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. More from the desert after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Larry Ridley for highlights and analysis of our first half of play. Now, not too many highlights yet, at least in terms of scoring plays, that is.
Yeah, but hang in there. We might get something these last 2 minutes.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals are in for 6. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And the Cardinals will go up 7-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Townsend. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Back to throw now on first down. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had to read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And down inside the 15 he goes. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And his kick here is good. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. Both the Cardinals and the Browns haven't had a reliable run game so far. The push up front has not been there, and you have to give credit to both defenses on that front. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Browns come out on 3rd and 4. The pass will be completed into coverage, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to their own 46-yard line. Late in the second, Trotto's on target, middle of the field, and it leads to a touchdown as they get out to a 7-0 lead. Still late in the first half, middle of the field, the pass will be caught. And he ends up at the 44-yard line before he stopped on the play. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back now to University of Phoenix Stadium for the start of the second half.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there. We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point try now for Dawson. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10th. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Now let's go! 3-19!
They'll set up a throw. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And left side here, it's Graham. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball to the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be a 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it, no one got it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Townsend. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Taking on the midfield logo. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. And some room to work. And he slides to avoid the hit. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. This time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the fourth. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down. On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Dawson's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion. Now after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Green, 39.
Back to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. The Cardinals on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's third and 1. They'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. So here we go, first and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. As they run the counter play. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. And looking at this play from the running back's perspective, as it developed, I know he had to think to himself, oh no, here they come.
Here's Andy Lee now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8.
Hang on now. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Hang on now. Green 39. Green.
Now back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll look to throw. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Browns on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be third and forever. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Browns on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be third and a mile. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Over the middle, complete. It's Townsend. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are back within a score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now.
Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cardinals, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.